And the only one who can stop it is you. Be a warrior.
I'll try.
Hi folks, I'm Ignatiy Vishnevetsky.
And I'm Alex Dowd.
Today we're talking about A Wrinkle in Time, based on the classic novel by Madeleine L'Engle.
Welcome to Film Club. So, A Wrinkle in Time, the new Disney adaptation of the very popular, very beloved YA fantasy novel.
Which neither of us have read.
Neither of us have read. We should say that up front. You know, neither of us have any attachment to that, so that may inform some of our feelings about this movie, perhaps. This is a movie that a lot of people are rooting for, I think, for some very real reasons. I mean, it's one of the largest budgets ever handed to a black filmmaker, one of the largest budgets ever handed to a female filmmaker. Again, it's a beloved novel. It's not very good, though.
No, this is not a very good movie. I feel like I can name half a dozen things about it that don't really work, that don't really connect. It's a film that, if you happen to quite like the source material, I can kind of imagine tolerating some of its major glaring flaws.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they extend everything from the casting to the production design to the effects. Well, let's start with the obvious, is the fact that it's kind of an ugly-looking movie.
Yeah.
It looks like a community theater production of Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, is how I would describe
I had
it.
the Burton thing in my mind
there's
as
a lot
well.
of plastic gems glued to people's foreheads.
Very inconsistent special effects.
Random fabrics. And those might seem like purely cosmetic quibbles, but when you're making a fantasy film, for the narrative to work, you do have to involve your audience in the fantasy, either by completely embracing suggestion and basically showing nothing, or by showing them a lot and letting them imagine something more.
But it's not even just the elements of spectacle that I think are not particularly well staged. There's a kind of clumsiness to this film that I wasn't expecting. I mean, the director is Ava DuVernay, who made Selma, and also the documentary 13th. And in the past, I think has shown quite a bit of talent, at least with actors. But a lot of this is really sloppy, just on a scene-for-scene basis. Things like the introduction of
Mrs. What's-It.
Yes.
The Witherspoon character.
Yes, when she shows up and our main character is coming down the stairs and sees her in the living room.
Wrapped in the contents of a linen closet, I believe.
Yeah. It's just a completely botched reveal in a lot of ways. And so much of the movie is filmed in really tight close-up.
Yeah, I mean, DuVernay has a real weakness for telephoto close-ups at kind of a key moments. And while that may work within the context of a drama, it doesn't really work here. It just ends up disrupting the film.
Because there are moments when we're being dropped into, should we go over the plot of this film? I guess the plot of it is, I believe the actress's name is Storm Reed. She plays this junior high student, basically, who has lost her father.
James Baldwin Middle School, I should
Oh,
add.
yeah.
I don't know if you know.
I didn't notice that. That's a good detail, though. So, her father has been gone for 4 years, and basically these mystical beings from beyond sort of come to her, Mindy Kaling, Reese Witherspoon, and Oprah Winfrey.
A gigantic Oprah Winfrey,
Yes.
we should mention. Literally
Like the size
15,
of a skyscraper.
She's not skyscraper height, but she's about 15 feet tall. Yeah.
And they sort of take her on this adventure to go find her father in time and space. And she brings along her annoyingly precocious little brother.
And also her crush.
Yeah,
also gets
her
from
schoolyard crush, basically. Who, by the way, this is one of those YA cliches, and again, I have no idea because I haven't read the novel. I don't know if that's from that or if it's been sort of just brought over in translation, but it's that very obnoxious cliche from YA where there's this completely, immediately devoted nice guy boy who basically is just constantly telling her how amazing she is.
There's a lot to talk about in terms of plot, but the thing is that this film, it just keeps tripping up over its own plotting, because it's never introducing any of these things in a way that really works.
Yeah, there should be awe and wonder when we go to this, when we first are dropped into this other place, which it's never explained exactly where we are even, but we're dropped into this wondrous other world, and even the reveal of that world is kind of botched.
Where it worked is where they go into Kamazats, right? The place where the it, which is the evil force within this this story, dwells. This place of pure evil. When they get dropped into there and they go through a few kind of surreal environments, I think that's when the movie very briefly hits its stride.
I think there's kind of a poignant idea in the film, and it's not so radically different than the idea that a lot of YA adaptations and a lot of works sort of directed towards children put out there, but this notion that that this character has to overcome this very essential quality of humanity, which is just this sort of self-loathing that she has.
Almost everyone in this film seems really miscast, with the exception of Chris Pine, who plays her father, who and also Michael Pena, who I think has a little bit of fun with this.
I mean, they look lost, honestly. And the child actors are not great. You can see a lot of effort happening there, you know. It always feels cruel to rip on child actors, but they feel like they needed something that they're not getting on that set, you know.
It's easy to talk about what's good in terms of intention in this film.
Oh, this is such a well-intentioned film.
You can read every intention so clearly,
Yeah.
but intention and execution, they're two very different things.
You're kidding.
Do I look like I'm kidding?
A little. I'm not.
I'm not.